boldip.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Bold Inventor Show. I'm your host, JD Houvener, with Matt Kulseth, my co-host.
Hello, JD.
Hello out there. Man, you've been busy, sounds like. We were just chatting before we went live. You've been working on the yard?
Yeah, working on the yard, bunch of kid stuff. They've been coming home and something with the... Yeah, there was an incident on the bus coming home from camp, cleverly called Barfagemen.
Oh.
And apparently it was banned. So
okay.
I won't get into that. But we've just been busy this summer, man. But life's great. Going to go to the cabin tomorrow.
Good.
This afternoon. So what about you?
Good stuff. Yeah, we've been busy this past couple of weeks moving in. We got a new house. Nice. Where all boxes are moved, everything.
Yeah, it looks great back there, right?
Yeah, guys, you guys cleaned it up real quick.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Got that plant just right.
Just right, yeah.
So for those out in our audience listening or watching, we're live across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We're attorneys. We're from Bold Patents Law Firm. I specialize in patents, and Matt specializes in trademarks. So we're talking intellectual property. That's patents of trademarks, copyrights, trade secrets, and offering lots of cool, advice in between, having fun, keeping things lighthearted. So no legal advice, nothing confidential here. So if you have something you want to ask about more particular to your situation, please do not mention that here live. Hop on our website, book a free discovery call, get a copy of the free Bold Ideas book, talk with Dallas or Reno to see if we might be able to help you. Okay. But you're welcome to ask any questions you've got. If you're out there watching live, we'll put you to the top of the line. And if you have questions for Matt and I, or even our guest, who's patiently waiting backstage, we'll have Maddie DeJong on, the founder and inventor of the Green Sling, to hear her story and hear what's going on with that company and the products there. How'd I do, Matt? Did I cover the bases?
Nailed it.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while. We got this new virtual background here. That is our YouTube channel up to my right shoulder. And then feel free to hop on there, check out all of this. A lot of these, videos get turned into little mini tutorials. We've got almost 1,000 videos up there, Matt. It's incredible. It's a great resource for anyone out there. Just getting started. We're here for you, the individual inventor, business owner, entrepreneur looking to make a difference in the world. So what I'm going to do is take a few questions that came in over the week. We're not going to go too crazy. Last week, Matt, you and I went wild. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We did 15. So Great. We'll just take it easy today. Maybe do 2 each. Sounds and then we'll bring our guest on. Goodness, Mia got 54 new questions for us. It's amazing the amount of interest in this area of law, keeping us employed, Matt. So It's a good thing. People need answers, and apparently they're not getting answers on ChatGPT. Praise the Lord. We're going to have some knowledge in our head. We can help. So here we go. This one is on, and I don't know. This is from Quora.
Yep.
Okay. Pretty simple question. Let's see how we can go. And you bet, Jonathan. Thank you for your dedication and commitment here to checking us out every week. So how do patent offices determine the value of creative inventions? Unfortunately, they don't. They don't actually determine the value. But I suppose in a way they do provide that ability to either, whether your application is rejected or they'll allow it. And so on the patent side, the USPTO, they employ examiners, technical examiners in lots of different industries. And when you submit a patent application in a certain technology area or field, there's an examiner who's spent many, many years, at least in education, maybe even examining in just that field. And so they're going to be able to give you a determination after they conduct their own research as to whether that is novel, non-obvious, and meets all the requirements for getting a patent. So in essence, if a patent gets issued, I think that's some value. There's some inherent value that, hey, you have contributed to the world's knowledge. I say that's valuable. But when it comes to market value, that's going to be a little different analysis in terms of who's going to pay for this. How are you going to develop a product and everything that goes with, starting up a company and a product.
Yeah, purely speculative, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So Matt, anything to mention on the trademark side, any of the differences there in value?
USPTO, they don't assign a value to your trademark as well. But I mean, certainly, I think you can talk to like a trademark attorney, on the trademark side, a patent attorney on the patent side, and get some rough idea in terms of value potentially to someone. At least on the trademark side, I generally have a sense for like if a client registers something that's really in demand and we kind of sneak through the process, that trademark might be worth something at some point. So I should hang on to them.
This makes me want to pull up an old chart that I made.
Do it.
Yeah, man. This is the
patent flow chart here.
Close. This is the patent success matrix, my friend.
Oh yeah.
We're going to go into this. This is 2 axes. On the y-axis, we're going back to math class, you've got patentability. Okay, this is what the USPTO is going to help you with, determining can I get a patent or not. But in terms of value, I guess I'm calling success here, you want to be in the green. And marketability. USPTO and the government does not tell you this whole other x-axis, which is marketability. That's going to be on you, the inventor. Go determine the industry market size, your competitors, barriers to entry. So you want both, of course, super desired and super inventive. You'll be in the green. So you can check that out at the Patent Success Matrix on our website and read a whole lot more about that.
No, that's really cool.
All right. Well, we answered that, knocked that out of the park.
Yeah, you did.
Just like home run derby, you went for distance.
Team up.
Let's find a nice trademark one. Lots of patent questions. Here we go. Well, longish. Here we go. This is an Amazon listing question, and it's something that is quite relevant to a lot of inventors out there listing their products, selling on Amazon.
Yep.
So I've got a registered trademark with the USPTO, and I recently came across an Amazon listing using a name that isn't officially registered, but it's very similar to mine. I wonder if I can report this to Amazon for potential infringement. Has anyone dealt with a similar situation? What are the legal implications of this? I want to make sure I take the right steps before escalating the issue.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, you should definitely talk to a trademark attorney or an Amazon specialist who has experience with the Amazon brand registry before you just go willy-nilly start reporting third parties for trademark infringement. The reason you don't want to do that is just like a client that we're working on right now. They have like a very successful business selling sheet music clips. So like if you have sheet music and you need to hold the book open, they have a clip. And that's a very like distinct, historically important design. And that's what they sell. Someone has registered that outline as a federal trademark, unbeknownst probably to the USPTO that it's functional, and is now enforcing it against our client. So, wow. So yeah, that stinks to our client because they're losing tens of thousands of dollars every month in sales because they're delisted by Amazon right now. So what do? You go back to Amazon and you try to argue your case. In the meantime, we're canceling their trademark, the third party's trademark.
Got it.
So I mean, that's the consequence of like trying to enforce the trademark maybe a little too broadly. Is you're kicking the beehive,
Yes. Yes.
So we're canceling their trademark, and then my client is considering filing a separate federal district court action for tortious interference with the business.
Wow. So three potential avenues to go fight: one within Amazon, one at the Patent and Trademark Office, and then in federal court.
Yep. So he's definitely losing his trademark. I'm going to make sure of that. And then Amazon has relisted it once they saw that we'd filed the TTAP cancellation. They relisted the client, and the third party is going to lose their trademark because they're not going to pay $6,000 to a trademark attorney.
Right. There you go. So it's highly unlikely that.
So look before you leap.
Yeah, look before you leap. There you go. Don't kick the hornet's nest unless you're absolutely sure.
Yeah, I always tell my clients like it's pretty easy to file that form, but like it's also just as easy to email me, right, and have me take a look at it quick. Yeah. It doesn't cost you anything. So
love that. Thank you, Matt. That was a good question. Okay, we've got one from Reddit. Here we go. This is on a dental product. I may have seen this one. Let's see. Maybe hopefully not a repeat. I have an idea for a dental product that does not exist. I need to know legally how to protect my idea, then find the means to manufacture and test the product. no idea where to start. Any help is appreciated. Cool. Well, I think it's good that you at least done some research. It sounds like you've looked around to see, and maybe you're in the industry yourself, and to find out that you don't think it exists. That's a great first start. You'd be surprised at how many people are almost afraid or don't want to spend the time to do their own diligence. So kudos to you for having done that.
Can I jump in here quick, JD? I would say that you should find a firm that actually has a niche specialty in dental. And I know such firm.
We do at Bold Patents. In fact, I spent 2 or 3 years networking in
JD loves teeth.
Masterminds.
Loves teeth.
Dentists are business owners and entrepreneurs.
They are.
And very often are, thinking outside the box. They've got to find ways to one up each other, and it's awesome. I definitely invested in my teeth. My mom and dad did a lot of orthodontics, just a ton of innovative products, because there's so much involved, so much on the line, that a smile can go a long way. Thank you for that.
I bet one of the attorneys at our firm could tell you a little bit more about the dental world in general and how this would fit into that.
100%. Were you thinking of somebody in particular?
No, not in particular.
No particular.
I mean, who's got the best teeth on the patent side besides you?
Well, Chris does have a big set of pearly whites.
He does have some nice teeth.
So I don't know if it's a rank order. Anita does as well. There's tons of that going on. Look, I think don't just, if you're not a patent professional, don't just rely on your own search. Work with a patent firm like Bold. We can do a professional search. Look before you leap. Don't go spending 5, 10 or more grand hiring and filing a patent application before you look first. So that way you can get a clear idea in terms of how different your product is from what else is out there called prior art. To actually protect your idea, you do need to file a patent application, and that can be as simple as a provisional, basically a placeholder that will need to be followed up by a non-provisional application. And I think our guest is going to talk about non-provisional filings in just a little bit, so hang tight. And then in terms of manufacturing, I do, highly recommend you file and get protected, have patent pending status before reaching out and talking to third parties, and get several quotes. There are lots of good manufacturers, and if you can, local is the best. If you can do it, at least initial, so you can get your eyes and hands and see the thing as it's getting built, and also have the same jurisdiction, so you can have the contract be binding should unfortunately something happen where you have a breach of contract, confidentiality issue. Of course, if you have to go out of state or overseas, things can get out of hand, and your risk level goes up from there. I would say is give us a call. Let's chat and see what your product is all about. We'll get you started.
Hey, JD, quick question for you.
Yep.
The 1-year timeline from when I guess the idea is potentially patentable, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the technical term for that, but if they have the idea, when does that idea start the 1-year clock? Does it have to be written down?
No, there's no clock that starts upon conception, right? When the light bulb goes on, there may be someone else with the light bulb also going on. And the law has changed in the US about 10 years ago now. You have to file it. It doesn't actually matter who invented it first. And so that's who will get the rights. Now, in terms of the 1-year window, that has to do with public disclosure. So as soon as it's publicly disclosed, take it to a trade show, throw all information up on a website.
That starts the clock.
Or go to a trade show. And then the other window can also start, that 1-year timer starts when you sell, and now even offering to sell can also trigger that 1-year window. And then you must file either provisional or non-provisional within 1 calendar year.
Okay. So this is for my own information here. Let's say, this is going back, I should know this. I took patents 1 and 2. But let's say I invent something, I use it privately for commercial purposes, but no one sees it. Like I'm making widgets with it.
Yep.
I do that for 10 years. And then I decide, you know what? I'm going to sell this thing, this widget maker. And I publicly disclose it. Can I still register that if I file within 1 year?
So you've been making widgets
with this device.
With the device.
But no one's seen the device.
Yeah, 100%. You have kept that device as trade secret. Okay. And therefore you have taken the risk that no one else will independently invent it. And so that's one of the risks of being, holding trade secrets, is the potential risk that someone else could file an application on it and now you could potentially be infringing on that use of the invention that you were keeping as a trade secret. So shame on you, or just, at least you took a risk. You shouldn't have waited that long. You should have shared with the world what you've come up with. So it's always
I was making too much money in my widgets, though.
Maybe you made a ton of money, right? And it's all about that reverse engineerability test I talk about. Is it from that widget, could someone like you, or maybe even a little smarter, figure out how you made it? And if you think, they'll figure it out, then you better get a patent on it. But if you're confident there's no chance, then you keep it as a trade secret. Might be the good way to go.
Cool. Nice.
Love those extra questions. I think with that, we're going to bring on our guest, Maddie DeJong. Thank you for waiting, Maddie. Welcome to the Bold Inventor Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, Maddie.
Yo. I did miss the hat memo, so I'm off on that. So it's good to see you.
We could probably put that in post edit.
Yeah, I know. I did do the touch up my skin appearance. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm kind of.
Yeah, you look tan. You look healthy.
A little smooth, yeah.
I look a little yellow today.
We were talking before we went live, Matt. You correct me because you're like, "Oh, I'm going to shower. I'm going to shower." For me, there's no point because I'm going to start sweating immediately afterward. Unless I stay inside and do nothing anyway. I digress. I'm sure you understand.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Right.
It's
well,
a shower.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go work out after this, so I didn't want to get all
right.
No.
cute.
At least up till now, there's no olfactory sensor, right, on the going live, which is crazy. That, who knows? That could be something. I'm sure that's been invented. Maybe not. So
smell-o-vision.
Right. The idea. Let's talk about working out, and let's talk about the Green Sling.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear Green Sling, I'm thinking of like slingshots or something. But tell us, let's go way back. What is the Green Sling? How did you first come up with it?
Yes. So the Green Sling is an innovative running belt. It's the only one on the market with a compartment for your additional layers. So as a runner myself, back in January 2024, I was training for a marathon and really getting increasingly frustrated, not knowing what to do with my extra layers. And I thought to myself, there's nothing new under the sun. There's got to be something out there that manages layers. And there really wasn't. There were people attempting to solve the issue of your phone, your keys, your water bottle, but nothing that really combined everything and did it well. So during the time I was a master's student at the University of Houston studying entrepreneurship. And so this was something that was constantly on my mind, was like that frustration, that pain that leads to the creation of a good product. So upon interviewing potential customers, I discovered no one was really complaining about the same complaints I was making because I couldn't lead. You're not supposed to ask yes or no questions.
Right.
So I had trouble validating the issue that I was facing. And I heard complaints about my phone bounces a lot, my keys bounce around, just the common typical frustrations, like not knowing how to manage their things. So it wasn't really until I posted on LinkedIn that summer when I had already created my MVP and posted about it.
What's the MVP stand for?
Yes, it's a minimum viable product.
Thanks.
And what time frame are we talking? How long ago was this?
That was not this January, but the previous January. So that was
very recent.
Yeah, no, very recent. Yeah, I launched. I really started manufacturing in October and then didn't really start selling until the very end of the 2024 calendar year. So really January. So yeah, haven't been on the market for all that long. Let's see. But yeah, so I guess 6 months in, posted about it after going to a run club and taking a picture wearing it. And I've never seen a post go viral on LinkedIn, but I'm pretty sure mine did. It had like 7,000 views or something, like just a lot. And then in the comment section, I kept getting people telling me, oh my God, I have the same issue. No way. Like, I'd love to try it out. And so that's actually how I got and put together my beta testing group. So ended up making a handful, testing the product. That definitely took the most time to because I had to get it into production in order to have enough for the beta testers.
Right.
And then, of course, like the first few months of selling, my product was constantly improving. Whether it's like one of the key issues was thread, like the elasticity, like not having threads pop. So I had to switch to like an elastic thread and those different little issues, figuring that out. And honestly, I'm still working through some of those problems here and there. So
okay, you've talked about. Let me go back real quick. So you're talking about you did kind of an academic approach. You kind of did this sort of survey, right? You kind of did some market research.
Yes, because I was doing it throughout my master's, so I actually used it as my thesis.
There we go. Got it. So, and then going back to almost the first thing you said, which marathon did you run and did you complete it?
So that time I ended up getting injured. So I didn't run my first marathon until January this year. And that was the Houston Chevron Marathon.
Nice. Well, congrats on that. Huge accomplishment. Very, very cool. Did you wear the Green Sling?
I did. Yes. It was very helpful. I had like tons of nutrition stuffed in there. It was perfect.
That's super cool, Maddie. I'm just taking a look at the website right now. Tell me about this upcycling or repurposing old leggings. That's novel.
Thanks. So I previously was full-time in the apparel and textile industry throughout my master's and before that. So that was
your way around a sewing machine?
What? Sorry?
You know your way around a sewing machine?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
They're right there.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So, yeah, I do a lot of sewing. I've been sewing since I was young. So that's why my undergraduate degree is in fashion merchandising. And then ended up going into textiles. And then I worked for the company I worked for called Fiber 52. They were working on an innovative dyeing process. And so that dyeing process was a lot more sustainable, saved water, time, and energy. So sustainability was something that I was constantly immersed in on a daily basis. So I knew that as I approached this issue and tackled the problem, I didn't want to do anything that contributed unnecessary waste to the environment. So, and then honestly, like it's a challenge, like a whole nother level of challenge. And I don't know, I like problem solving. So I took that on and thought about it. And then I can't remember, it just hit me like leggings. That's something we all have so much of. And elastane.
We don't.
No. All your, Peter Pan plays and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spandex. Yeah, like, you had leggings. Yeah.
I guess men would have shorts. Maybe,
I mean, some guys, like I know I've seen baseball players or football players wear leggings under.
Oh, yeah, compression leggings or whatever.
Yeah, compression leggings. So it's mostly women. Most women have at least 10 pairs at the back of their closet that they could get rid of, is what I've kind of discovered. And so when I thought about spandex, something that takes up to 200 years to break down in landfills, any way we can keep it out and give it another kind of life cycle, that's great. So in the end, I've had a pretty consistent supply of leggings. That is a hurdle in terms of scaling. It's something that investors are always like weary about when it comes to businesses that are sustainably focused or upcycling materials specifically, because there may or may not be a consistent flow of those materials. So I actually established my own kind of supply chain in the Houston area. I've got a handful of different workout places on board where they have a green bucket that people have kind of started to recognize locally, and they can just bring their leggings to their workout class and drop them off there. So it's proven to work pretty well. I've got all of those listed on my website, like drop-off points and whatnot. And then also,
that is fantastic. Can we take a look at the website? Is that all right?
Please.
Okay, and go ahead and talk us through it for the podcast listeners. I've got your the homepage here pulled up. Got the Green Sling. So repurpose to run with purpose. Pretty awesome. That's your slogan.
Yep.
Walk us through what we're looking at here. Maybe how do I find the product?
Yes. So there's a couple ways. You can scroll down and see the products listed there.
There we go.
Yeah. Then the Elite is basically, that's the only model we have right now. So, and then when I roll out our next version, it'll just replace that one because I'm still kind of making tweaks. And
You've got a version 2 on the way. Okay. All right. You're working on something. All right.
Yep.
Not launched. Any sneaker or, potential hints at what?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So the 3.0 is what I'm going to call it because it's actually my third version. I started with a Velcro version, then the zipper version, and now this one will have a pocket specifically for keys because I found while the Green Sling does solve the issue of keys bouncing, when you put your phone and your keys in the same pocket, they do kind of hit together sometimes. So I kind of recreated the way things are sewn, so it's sewn a lot more seamlessly. It's easier for my manufacturers and it will look a lot cleaner and sleeker. And then you'll finally have your keys away from your phone in a separate.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing that. How long do we have to wait until we see that 3.0?
I'm honestly the next kind of rollout, like I'll make some inventory at a time. So probably soon in the next few months. I've created it. I just need to teach my manufacturing studio how to make it. So.
And this is an option here to send in your own material.
Yes.
For only $5 extra. Seems quite affordable. How have you been able to do this?
The $5 extra is only for the shipping, actually, the additional sending it in and whatnot, because we send you a label. But yeah, actually, all of my manufacturing is pretty on demand. I work with a cut and sew studio in Houston called Fabric Forge, and they employ women in need of employment. They teach them how to sew, and then they give them jobs. So it's a really good cause, but I can drive the product over, and then they turn it around in a few days, less than a week. So
Cool.
It's really nice.
Really good. And you get your own fabric, of course.
Yes.
It's like Matt may have dropped off. Hopefully we get Matt to join back in. I'm not sure what happened there. So let's see. So the next version is coming out. Let's talk about intellectual property. I mean, we're here we're talking about patents and trademarks. When in that process, that story you shared, did you start thinking about patents or trademarks?
Pretty early on, I knew that. I knew from the get-go that was something that needed to be done. I guess it could have been because of being in the entrepreneurship educational space or, also, yes, the company I worked for, they were patent pending at the time. They recently were awarded, I think they were awarded their patent. Yeah, they were.
For the dyeing process?
The dyeing process. So I was constantly hearing about that and actually kind of helping with the filing of the patent, like collecting proof here and there that we needed. So yeah, I think it was kind of just super relevant in my professional experience. So I knew that was kind of like a natural progression.
Yeah, I mean, and this is pretty common. I wonder if you're willing to share some more of that timeline and detail around inventing this while you were kind of at school and employed and being able to come away owning it on your own. That probably didn't happen naturally.
It was completely separate. And then maybe if it had to do with, if it was a textile chemistry, maybe there would have been some issues there. Like some of the chemists might have had more restrictions on that front, but what I was doing had absolutely nothing to do with what they were doing. So
Perfect.
there was no issue there, and I was working on it on my own time. So
excellent. And university, did they have any interest in further research? Did they try to seek a license to the invention at all?
I think if you, to my knowledge, if you utilize their resources or professors or anything of that sort, get funding from them, they will try to claim a part of that. And a lot of students do take that route because they have these like big $1 million ideas, whereas like mine was a relatively low startup cost, like south of 10 grand. So that's something that I was able to fund on my own, and I worked pretty independently from the university while I was, of course, like learning a lot in my classes and working on the project. I didn't really seek too much mentorship from yes, from the professors and mentors, but they didn't actually help me seek that patent. Like I have a lawyer. He's actually my friend's brother. So it's just completely separate. Yeah.
Good. And did you ever pitch or do a pitch competition while you were going through that process?
Yeah, I did a pitch competition. I was actually already selling them by then. So my pitch competition was December of 2024. And that was honestly where I had the majority of my first sales because people heard about it and just wanted to buy like right after that. So, which was really cool.
All right. And on the patent side, we talked before we went live. I do want to make sure we touch on this. So I believe you filed a provisional first. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you just recently filed the non-provisional.
Yes. So, I mean, there were two kind of main reasons why I filed provisional first. And one is because obviously like that holds your place in line, of course. Like you don't want someone else to beat you to the punch. Because like I said, for the most part, there's nothing new under the sun. So someone else could definitely have been ideating the same thing at the same time. Who knows? So wanted to hold my place in line. And then also it kind of gave me time to decide if this was something worth pursuing or not. Because filing provisional is less expensive than non-provisional. And as someone who is bootstrapping and funding everything myself, that was not something I took like lightly, the cost of that. So I wanted to kind of delay that as much as possible. That additional cost. So
good. So you used that whole year to do just what I tend to advise people to do. You created the product, got it in the hands of customers, and sold it. And so I bet you probably learned a few things in that year, and were able to refine it and add more details to the non-provisional.
Yeah, I've definitely learned a lot. And honestly, like product changed a lot from that in that calendar year. Like it almost looked completely different from what we were initially going to file. So, or working to file.
Good. Well, best of luck as that goes through prosecution. It may be months or hopefully not years before you hear back from the examiner as you navigate that process. You were kind enough to send me one of these belts, slings, I would say. And I did look, maybe I didn't look hard enough, but for the patent pending identification, have you put that on the sling or is it on the wrapper?
It's not. I haven't.
Okay. Probably a tricky thing to do, but I mean, maybe if it's something you could try to work in, it may be worth your while. Check with your attorney. That's one best practice I advise folks to take a look at doing. In the case you have someone try to rip you off, or if they were put on notice, you could demonstrate that, hey, this clearly was labeled. You could threaten for triple damages in later litigation. Any signs of rip-off? People trying to copycat what you're doing? Given it went viral and you're just starting sales now?
I had one small thing. It was like a Chinese factory followed me that carried all different styles of running belts. and then I blocked them almost immediately on Instagram.
Right.
But of course, they can go look at my website and everything. So I was like, yeah, I'm sure someone's trying to rip it off and everything. But quite honestly, that doesn't really scare me because like what I'm doing, manufacturing ethically, using sustainable upcycled materials, that's not something they're going to be able to do. So, and I think that story is honestly accounts for maybe 70% of my sales. So hopefully I'll get to the point where people are more focused on the functionality, or they're coming to us, they're hearing about us through social media or marketing, whatever. But for right now, as I'm selling in person a lot more, doing pop-ups and whatnot, they're hearing that story and they're like, sold. Okay, great. So yeah, while obviously I created the product for its functionality, I am happy to be able to do it in a way that like could make a difference rather than just
100%.
the same old stuff.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, I assume the utility patent claims don't specify the type of material needs to be upcycled. No. So long term, maybe there's a monetization route where it isn't in fact upcycled, or there's some percentage of recycled fibers, that type of thing.
So I actually created it in the first place. My intention was to sell the patent to a brand or someone that could actually use it at a larger scale than I currently can. So like the Lululemons of the world could take their old leggings and repurpose them into a whole new product line. And that's honestly what I intended it to be in the first place. And then I quickly realized, okay, I need to kind of proof this out, show that there's traction here, that there's a product market fit. So yeah, cool. Still potentially open to that route, but kind of just seeing where it takes me. So
Maddie, it seems like the price is maybe a little low. You should be charging more.
Thanks. I don't hear that one that often, but
I think you should $55 for anything these days, especially something that's handmade in the United States, by an American. I mean, that's a crazy deal. So I think you should charge more than that.
I agree. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, you have my permission then.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely times it just depends on who you're in front of. Like there's people that will tell me, oh my gosh, that's a ripoff. We're like, it's used material. How can you possibly charge that much for it? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think there's just like different schools of thought on it, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of folks like the cheap stuff right from overseas, but it seems like we're kind of going away from that.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully that would be great, and especially with the tariffs and like it's caused such a ruckus in the industry. We'll kind of see where it goes.
So is your near-term goal to do just that, to increase sales, to further confirm market demand?
Mm-hmm. At the moment, yeah.
Okay. What are some of the ways you're trying to market? What's been successful in terms of trying to get more purchase, more sales?
I would love to do a better job with social media marketing or PR in some ways. It's just as a one-person team, there's only so much like I can get to for the time being. So I think really the best route of attack right now is trying to secure some big box retailers to carry my product. It's a little more of a hurdle. We're currently in 4 stores locally in Houston. So I think getting into those smaller retailers, I can definitely keep doing that and that'll help. But I would love to get into the like Fleet Feets or Academy or, some of those a little bigger stores. Trek, like for biking, it's also a great product for bikers.
Sure. My daughter just got a bike yesterday, and I'm watching her wearing her dress, like getting stuck in the tires.
Right. That's nerve-wracking. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a hurdle there because a lot of these retailers want you to have like a warehouse full of inventory just sitting there ready for their use potentially.
They don't want to pay you for the inventory until it sells.
Yeah, at your cost, which is just like impossible for me right now. So I've got to navigate that and figure out. It may just happen naturally. Who knows? We'll see.
Let's talk trademarks for a bit. We got Matt here. So I see you're using the TM to properly show people you're using the Green Sling as your mark. Have you gone forward and thought about registering?
Yeah, so I'm working on that right now. It's actually kind of funny because, I'm currently 25, so it's been a learning process with all this patent stuff. And in the beginning, I thought once I had filed my patent provisionally that I could start using the TM, which was not the case. Like, it's a separate thing. So then once I figured that out, which was honestly not that long ago, I started talking with my lawyer about getting going on that. So we're working on it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I think you should definitely take a look at the Green Sling and your slogan too.
Yeah, for sure. That would be good.
Very, very cool. Yeah. No, congrats on the success. This is really neat.
Thank you.
Excited to see where it goes.
What would be a touchdown win if we're talking a year from now? What would be the best possible result?
That's really hard to say because, looking back a year from now, I thought, or like a year ago, I thought I'd be probably a bit further along in terms of sales, but that's like ideal goal setting right there. But yeah, maybe getting some more retailers on board, or maybe one of those bigger medium-sized retailers would be really great. Maybe increasing some of that organic traffic. That's something I'm working on with SEO on the website and whatnot. So yeah.
Cool. Any potential influencers out there that are going to start rocking this thing?
I haven't tapped into that too much yet. I've talked to a few, so I need to kind of get on that, but that would be really great if I could get some of those lined up for sure.
Forrest Gump or someone.
Yeah.
Available.
Yep.
No, I think it's an awesome invention. It's got a lot of utility and heart. And I think it's one of those projects, like you said, some of the bigger brands, I think, could get their arms around, and make a difference. Stop throwing so much waste in the garbage, in the landfills. So
absolutely.
So how about I would say you're on your way to success. In fact, you're successful, truly, Maddie. You've done an incredible job. For maybe someone else out there listening after the fact on our podcast, what's some words of wisdom? If someone who's just getting started, maybe they have their own idea, things you might have done differently, you have words of encouragement, some things here to kind of.
I think just get after it. I think as a perfectionist, it's hard to tackle something when I can't see the whole journey and the step-by-step process. But I've learned that as an entrepreneur, a lot of that is just taking a jump, even when you don't know what's next or what that next step is going to be. But naturally, it'll come and you'll find your way. So, yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis mode. Move forward.
Yeah.
One step.
Like you said, there's a lot as an entrepreneur you don't know the first go around, right? And this is your opportunity to learn.
Exactly.
And the second time you do it, it'll go much faster and easier.
Agreed, for sure.
Maddie, I ask this of all of our guests, are you comfortable if I share your email address with anybody that has questions? They want to talk to you directly as a mentor or that type of thing.
Yeah, sure thing. My email is listed on my website, but it's Maddie, MADDIE @thegreensling.com.
Got it. Maddie, thank you again for being an awesome guest and sharing your story with us and the Green Sling. I look forward to hearing what's next, and hope you have the best success with your 3.0 version.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me. It's been fun.
You bet.
Thanks,
for Matt and for myself here at Bold, wishing you guys a great day. Go big, go bold.
Go big, go bold. boldip.com.